Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. Tom and I are here. We've got a lot of things that we would like to discuss, namely the WWE Premium Live event. The Elimination Chamber was this past weekend, and there is so much that needs to be talked about. Man. Wow. Wild. Can't wait.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, dude?
Nothing. Sitting here, Raw popped off real hard, like for the first half hour too. So I'm in wrestling. We're in the road to WrestleMania, baby. This is wrestling season.
We certainly are in the road to WrestleMania, and I'm glad that you brought that up right out the fucking gate because Triple H said after the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event at the post event presser, he said, "Hey, is there any question that we're on the road to WrestleMania now?"
I did say that. So I have a gripe about these post pressers. They break kayfabe a little too hard for me. They started out pretty kayfabe, but they're starting to break kayfabe a little too hard for me. And I feel that I would be remiss if I didn't mention it because I think they need to dial it back a little bit and shut the curtain some because I like to suspend my disbelief. But I also do like to watch the post-show press conferences because I think they're important and they have important information in them that is within kayfabe. But they break kayfabe a little too hard, and I feel like at the end of a show like that, I'm still a little too invested. Especially once it's a good show, a little too invested in said, kayfabing. So, like, for them to just come in and like, hey, by the way, we wrote that. What'd you think? Kind of a thing. It's a little much. Like, let's dial it back a little bit.
I don't have a problem with Triple H doing that, just simply because, like, I think that.
But everybody does it. He was the last. Yeah. Like, he was the last one to speak, and they all kind of come in and just boom, 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 boom. So I did have I had an issue with that, and I felt like if I didn't at least slightly take it to task, I would be remiss in sitting here and saying, "Oh, it was great," because otherwise I was up here at that point when that came on. I was like, "Fucking, let's go!"
I had to watch Elimination Chamber in two parts this weekend.
That's why I tried not to spill it. I think I just texted you, "Holy shit!" a couple times.
Yeah, you did a really good job with that, and I appreciate my wife trying to put together a little bashy bash for me to kind of just have a last hurrah before the new chapter of my life begins.
They're making you pick up that book a lot faster than we had initially anticipated, but
yeah,
this all's well that ends well. So
we'll see what happens here. I get to hold the assistant, the assistant's pencil here for a little while before I'll be getting the pencil back, so to speak. So
it'll be okay.
No complaints on that. It's been a very peaceful week in the home front. I will say that my headaches are gone. My chest pains have gone away. So there's something to be said from the from the level of stress relief that I have been.
It seems like we've taken the stroke risk down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
that sounds good to me. I think that's important.
But we'll see how that goes. So anywho, Elimination Chamber this weekend, man, what a great show, top to
Holy
bottom.
shit.
I
There
think
were only
even,
4 matches on the card, but holy shit.
even the two non-chamber matches were pretty fucking good.
They were fun.
I'd like to go ahead and we'll just jump into all things outside of the chamber, and we'll go ahead and start with Tiffy time and Trishy time versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae.
I really enjoyed the build to this. I know why it was on this card. This would have been just as good of a match had it been the main event of SmackDown the night before.
I agree.
But I thought that this was certainly a good match. Trish in her hometown of Toronto. I thought, putting her on the card with Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffy time.
Tiffany is one of the most impressive athletes that we've seen in WWE since Charlotte.
Really super stoked for WrestleMania, her and Charlotte.
Yeah, and I say athletes, not to divide men and women, right? Like, just one of the most impressive athletes that WWE has seen, probably since Charlotte Flair. Since, oh God, who would even be on the men's side? Maybe Ricochet, but not like better and stronger. I don't, man, it's like, we're just one of the most impressive all around, like, good at everything kind of athletes that, like, holy, like, they just watching her, it's like you understand exactly why she shot right to the top immediately. And it's only been a couple years. It's like, oh, she learned how to wrestle, and then she spent some time in NXT honing the WWE craft, and then came to the main roster, was sort of fostered by, prior world champions, is now a world champion and just on fire. Her segments are great. Her mic work is great. Her matches are great. They're athletic. She's strong. She's fast. It's great. Everything about her presentation and what she does is tremendous.
Yeah, man. I know that we were very sour grapey on Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble. But
I think Charlotte's going to lose at WrestleMania, and I think that I'm okay with that.
I think that she needs to lose at WrestleMania. I think that Tiffany Stratton deserves the opportunity to push past that, and have something to kind of hang her hat on, so to speak.
I beat Charlotte Flair in the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's exactly what she's going to say. And whether she's, a tweener, because she can't really, like, they're not going to really make her a baby face. Like, that's going to be a hard sell. But whether she's a tweener, which is kind of what she's doing now, or she's a hardcore heel, she's going to, that's going to be her, I beat Charlotte Flair in the main event at WrestleMania. Like the Miz did with his, and not to compare the two as a like for like, but it's like, I beat John Cena in the main event at WrestleMania, which he did. Now that might have been the worst WrestleMania of all time. We're not, pulling straws, but facts are facts. And, I think Tiffy having facts like that is going to be only continue her upward trajectory, because she seems to be, as far as being a face of the promotion, she does the signing, she's at the events, she's she is living it and breathing it and showing up and doing the work and doing the FaceTime and doing all the stuff. And so, I mean, I think we're probably at some point going to be like, man, they're just going to feed somebody else to Tiffany Stratton. And I think that's the trajectory she's on, right? You want to be in that Charlotte Flair, Roman Reigns discussion. You don't want to be in that what if discussion.
Yeah, no doubt. And I don't know. We'll have to see how the build to WrestleMania shakes out between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair.
We'll see how much Charlotte's on TV too.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to imagine that she's probably feeling some sort of way, probably for not being in an Elimination Chamber. But, she did the thing at the Royal Rumble. No need for her to be on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So I don't know. The build for that should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to SmackDown this weekend, because I think that we're going to see some shit, that's going to really shift into that next gear, so to speak, on the road to WrestleMania. One thing I do want to touch on, though, is, I think that somebody needs to give Nia Jax her fucking flowers because she continues to get better every single week. She continues to add to her repertoire. She continues to get better in ring
and elevate talent. That's the other thing too.
Yes, because without her, I don't think that Tiffany Stratton's not where she's at. I mean, she gets there, but I think you've got to give some of that credit to Nia Jax. Candice LeRae feels like a big deal because she's in Nia Jax's orbit. And those things all matter.
Yeah.
So, kudos to Nia Jax for, really just after that Royal Rumble appearance last year, it was just like, oh, okay, and then she came back and it's like, oh, Nia's back. Yay.
She's really put it, like, I feel like, I don't know what clicked for her, but it seems like she found the love again. She found the passion to come back and be like, all right, now if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do it at the top. And there have been a couple little stumbles. She did not actually sit on everybody full force, but I get it. You don't want to crush Trish right before a match that you need. I get it. Like, I'm not like, obviously it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It was a botch. WWE absolutely edited it on the replay though to cut out that millisecond of like stop in between where she like stopped, didn't sit down, and then just sat down.
Yeah.
But I think in retrospect that it's probably a non-starter. It's probably not even worth talking about. But like, I mean, those are few and far. That used to be a weekly thing with Nia Jax, something like that.
Oh, my hole!
That was hilarious. Actually, okay, not to switch to AEW. So I realized something watching AEW this week is that AEW is not funny, like ever.
No,
but WWE is funny, like consistently. And I feel like that's probably something that's missing with AEW is that I never laugh out loud when I watch AEW, but like I laugh out loud pretty much a couple times an hour when I watch WWE. So I think maybe that's part of why AEW is like, oh God, well, that was a show of all the wrestling shows ever. That was one of them. So,
well, I think too, and since you brought up AEW, I'd like to segue into this piece of business that I saw this week. And the question is, if AEW fans chanted Triple H fumbled during the Hurt Syndicate segments the same way that the NXT crowd chanted Tony fumbled during Ricky Saint's first match, wouldn't AEW be considered corny and desperate for attention?
I mean, AEW kind of is corny and desperate for attention. Would they be considered that if the fans chanted it? No, because I don't think Triple H fumbled the Hurt business. I think that was Vince. Am I wrong? But regardless, even let's say hypothetically.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, but, Triple H did inherit Bobby Lashley, and it felt like Triple H didn't really know what to do with Bobby Lashley once he had Bobby Lashley.
I mean, he could have redone the Hurt business. He had Shelton Benjamin. He had Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I mean, and MVP. He had all the pieces to the puzzle.
You're right. He could have.
This particular blurb goes on to say Ricky Starks had every opportunity to become the guy for AEW, but posing like a runway model, making insults, and dressing really nice weren't enough for him to succeed at the top level in AEW. Everyone knew he was following Cody as soon as he could, so why can WWE fans not get AEW and Tony Khan out of their heads? It's actually embarrassing.
Well, so I think this take is a little bit disingenuous. It's a little bit AEW mark because this happened on NXT. So if it I feel like it happening on NXT, which is, the developmental brand, really kind of, it's not the same as it happening on Raw or SmackDown. You know what I mean? Had this happened on Raw or SmackDown, I think that probably somebody in the back would have immediately been like, do something to shut this shit down. We don't want to talk about we're not talking about AEW on this show. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the fact that it happened on NXT, it happened in the NXT arena at the Performance Center. These are the week-to-week hardcore, like these are the people that also watch AEW every week.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a fair 1-to-1 comparison. Number two, Ricky Starks looked like a star every time he was on AEW.
I agree 100%.
It makes absolutely no sense to me why people who look like buffoons on AEW got infinitely more time, and Ricky Starks' time was always sort of a drip feed and never was like anytime he would get some kind of something, it was very start and stop. I have no idea what went on backstage, obviously, but it sure seems to me as though like Tony had something on his hands. He had some homegrown talent, but he didn't know he had a good piece of clay, but he didn't know how to mold it into a star. And I think that really speaks kind of volumes as to what AEW has become anyway, is that they've not really created any stars. Like, I mean, yeah, you can point at MJF and say, well, MJF is a star. MJF is going to be a star regardless of where he ends up. MJF was already a star on the Indies when he showed up.
Yeah, but what about the folks that would argue that Darby Allin is that homegrown talent, that homegrown star?
I don't. Darby Allin hasn't been on TV in a little while.
Well, no, he's getting ready to climb Mount Everest, and he's probably going to die. But like, that's neither here nor there.
I mean, is that as big as it goes though? Darby Allin's a mid-carder even in AEW.
Ooh.
Like, is that as far as it goes? They can grow mid-card talent.
Ooh.
I mean, because he's not held the. He's
what about Hangman? Hangman's homegrown.
Is Hangman a big deal?
I mean, he is now.
I mean, if so, he's the only one.
I mean, I feel like Hangman Adam Page continues to grow up every single week right in front of us.
I mean, I would love to look back and be like, oh yeah, Hangman's a star. I don't think he's there yet. I hope he gets there. I like Hangman. I think Hangman does a lot of good things. And I think that, I mean, he's clearly got some sort of head on his shoulders in order to be able to book himself, because that's all that's happening in AEW. So he's got some semblance of being able to do that. I would love to say that Hangman's a star, but that's one of how many? Thank God they haven't put him with Chris Jericho.
Ugh.
I mean, how terrible would that would have gone awful. Like he'd be
Hi, Hangman.
Jericho's the only one who on that AEW roster that could be funny.
Do you remember whenever I beat you for the championship? Whenever it first became a thing,
mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't. Like I said, I'd love.
Now I'm a happy chooch.
Sure is, and he's the Ring of Honor champion.
Well, they did that. I mean, so that they could sell Ring of Honor as a television property, but they still haven't been able to figure that out yet.
I mean, this is his second run with not being able to sell it. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it worked with AEW. They were able to sell AEW on the back of Chris Jericho, but they don't seem to be able to sell Ring of Honor on the back of Chris Jericho.
So I really want to dive in on this, right? I sent this in the group chat, and I'm going to need your Cliff Notes abbreviated version of this.
Okay.
But I feel like if I don't touch this, I've done our show a disservice.
Okay.
Is anyone else absolutely disgusted by this timeless bullshit? So apparently, the AEW idiots like this bull poop. Apparently, this is the greatest character work of Toni Storm's career. Ask yourself, why didn't she do this in WWE? Why didn't she go timeless there? And then you complain when WWE takes the trash out like they did with her. I am utterly disgusted by the fact that these overly sensual content was not done in WWE. As a hardcore WWE fan, I cannot enjoy something that does not happen in WWE. Why didn't Toni Storm portray this character in WWE, but she had to go and appease the AEW simps? I think this is utter disrespect to WWE and to us as fans. I think she owes us an apology and not stop there, but quit AEW to show us what she really means. I'm sick of pretending to be on the politically correct side of wrestling. There's only one correct side, and that's WWE's side. We as WWE fans need to acknowledge that we are the Sigmas of our own species, and we own this shit. We can do whatever we want. We need to stop pretending that we have no problem with other promotions, because a promotion that isn't WWE should not be allowed to exist.
I feel like this is satire.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Because he's called himself. Because like as I was reading this, it was like, how dare you besmirch the good name of Tony Storm? And then when he called himself a Sigma of the species, I was like, oh, it's satire. Okay. But to address Tony Storm, she was not on Wednesday, which means I guess she was on Saturday. Maybe, I don't know. She's on the run of her career. A highlight on any show she's on. Her and Harley Cameron highlights, weekly highlights.
What you're not into? What about the CEO?
Her best run's been against Harley Cameron.
Bully Ray was like super critical of AEW this past week on Busted Open, talking about Harley Cameron and why she couldn't go over on Mercedes Moné because she's not as good in ring as Mercedes Moné.
I disagree. I heard that too. I disagreed with that wholly. I'm like, who is he watching?
Yeah, but I don't think that he's saying that as a negative to Harley Cameron. I think he's saying it as a negative to the way that AEW as a show is booked. They hang their hat on this. AEW is where the best wrestle. That's their shtick. That's their gig. That's their whole
right.
Whole
and if we're looking at it as though it's a video game, Mercedes Moné's overall score is 90, and Harley Cameron's is somewhere around a 78. And you can't have a 78 beat a 90 for their title, right? That seems to be it. There's some kind of internal score in AEW that they believe exists, despite nobody really being that far over. And he's got to they've got to put it on blast that there's some kind of, okay, well, Mercedes is a 90, and the fact that a 78 can hang with Mercedes in power score is just a testament to what her power score is going to be the next time we re-rank this stuff. And I think that's a boring way to book shows. I think that it makes it very predictable, and I think that's been a lot of AEW's problem, is that somebody like a Harley Cameron can't come in and just immediately take over, be more charismatic, be funnier, be just perfectly good in the ring, and just be able to take over and be the champ, and then come out and do more great stuff. The Mercedes Moné puppet was fantastic. Like that was the since Timeless Tony Storm, that's the best thing that's been on AEW television. And I feel like the women are really like scratching and clawing to get TV time and coming up with like the most creative thing they could possibly come up with, because Tony gives 90% of the time to the guys. And, so only the most creative and most interesting women are going to get time on TV. And, that may not continue indefinitely. They'll just get some time, for this feud, and then it'll move on. And, you only ever see 2 other women in a feud, or, 4 women at a time, or whatever it ends up being. I think Harley Cameron absolutely came out and kind of stole everybody's hearts with the puppet and with the guitar and with that, and her ring was very good. I don't think it's bad at all. She's very athletic. She's a little green still. But I thought that she and Mercedes had one of Mercedes' best matches. I thought she's very good and very charismatic, and she continues to show it. She was on TV again this week, despite having lost her title match the week before at the pay-per-view. So, I think it's sort of a disservice to AEW, and I think AEW is doing themselves a disservice by not being a little bit unpredictable and like maybe putting Harley Cameron over, on this match with Mercedes, and then Mercedes can win it right back, dastardly wise, like the next night or whatever, or the next week on TV. That makes it exciting. Like, you're losing viewers, you're losing ratings. Don't put on these ho-hum mid shows. Like, make people want to watch. And they're not doing that.
No, I think that there's still very much. It's crazy because we're like fucking 6 years into this, and we're still sitting here saying the same thing that we've been saying. They still have yet to figure out what their identity is. And it feels like every time we bring this up and every time we discuss this, they start putting together a good string of a couple of shows, and then it's like, oh, okay, maybe that.
And they take their foot off the gas.
And then they do something different again.
Or they take their foot off the gas and they pull back and do something safe. You know, and it's like, do something dangerous, make it happen on television so that we know that, oh shit, if I'm not watching television, I'm going to miss something important.
I feel like we need to change your name to Tommy Dangerously because you just be dropping the dangerous all the time here recently.
Do it.
It's like your favorite buzzword right now.
What harm would have come other than to Mercedes's ego of her dropping the belt to Harley Cameron?
That part.
Her ego.
Yeah.
That's it. So she gets the call whether she wins or loses. She's Hulk Hogan.
That don't work for me, brother.
So everybody's Hulk Hogan. And that's the problem. You got a
locker room. No.
You got a locker room with 10 Hulk Hogans in it. They have all the titles sitting on their shoulders. It ain't going to work for them, brother. We got this overrun time, and I'm taking all of it. All right, well,
then the overrun time that we still can't figure out how to fucking make sure that the DVRs record.
I mean, DVR is only a 30-year-old invention. I don't understand.
Like, I still have yet to see the end of a fucking AEW show that has overrun.
And they'll be like, well, you need to know that you're just supposed to record the next show as well so that you get the overrun.
So you could hear me. My microphone's been off. You could hear me. I
could hear you just fine.
That's a fucking problem.
I can hear you just fine.
That's interesting.
I don't think your off switch works, or you're talking to the microphone on your headphones.
There's no microphone on the headphones. These are Dollar Tree earbuds.
Well, fuck. Okay then.
So there's no microphone there. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like they just need to figure this shit out over there.
I think that it's not that they need to figure it out. The problem is, like you said, they got 10 Hulk Hogans in the back there. Those are the guys that have all the titles. And if it ain't going to work for them, brother, it ain't going to work. And so we get to see the same shit rehashed week in, week out. Oh, hey, this person could maybe do it. And they didn't. I think Mercedes Moné, or not Mercedes. I think Toni Storm and what's her name? Previous women's champion, Mariah May.
Sorry.
Toni Storm and Mariah May somehow did something together that wasn't. It's going to work for me. It's not going to work for me, brother. But like, that was it. Like that's that's the one time that happened. That it hasn't happened any other time, but like that was the one time that happened, because in no point should Mariah May have been the women's world champion, right? Like that only happened because that made sense for Toni Storm's story.
Yeah.
And Toni Storm was like, no. She's going to have to win. And then I'm going to go away and do some things and find myself somewhere else. And then I'm going to come back and play a different character as though I'm brand new Toni Storm. And I'm going to come back with a thing under my eye and do that. Like, and all of that was just brilliant. And then I was playing a part. That was unbelievable. I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was amazing. I would watch that as a film. It can be in black and white half the time. That would be great too. But like the rest of AEW, like nothing like that happens in AEW otherwise. That's like the most dangerous and exciting thing that's happened. And that was benign, if we're being honest, like that wasn't like Mick Foley winning the main event of Raw and Tony Schiavone saying, well, Mick Foley's going to win. So, don't worry about changing the channel. And then everybody changes the channel. It's not that. They need that kind of a moment. You know what I mean? And they're playing it so safe that like, you don't even need to watch the show. You can look at the card and go, that guy's going to win. 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 And like 99% of the time, you're going to be right.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that the biggest piece of the puzzle that AEW is missing over there is just a little bit of storytelling, man. Just a little bit. They're trying with the Death Riders and Cope.
But still, those are just old AEW. Those are old WWE guys. There's nobody dangerous there.
All of them, except for Wheeler Yuta.
And he's the less among. Although he has stopped cutting his own hair, he stopped cutting his hair entirely.
Well, that's good though. That's good. And I mean, even Marina Shafir was in WWE for.
She sure was. Second. She was on the main roster.
You know what I'm saying? And like that was that was dope though. Fucking Willow coming out and landing that concerto. And
oh yeah,
bashing her brains in.
I honestly Shafir's on a good run. Marina Shafir's doing good work.
I honestly think that Cope's going to win the championship at Revolution.
Probably, so that they can say that he was a champion. For the same reason that they could say that Mox loses nothing by losing. He's what, a 4 or 5 time champion now?
Yeah.
And just in AEW.
I mean, it's so bad he doesn't even carry the belt right now.
No, he carries a briefcase that maybe has the belt in it.
There's no way that fucking thing's in there. No. That thing weighs 30 pounds. There's no way. Because I've got the like 1-to-1 replica over here that was made by somebody in Pakistan somewhere. That thing's like 18 pounds.
Yeah, no. There's no way it's in there. Not the way they flap that briefcase around like it's just holding a piece of the Money in the Bank contract.
Just the representation of the AEW championship.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's a hard. It's tough because like I want it to be good, and then I watch it and I'm like, that was not a bad wrestling show, but it wasn't the best one this week. It wasn't even the 4th best one this week. So it's like it's really hard. Like they really need to do something. Even if it's stupid, they need to do it. They should have pulled the trigger with Darby. They should have pulled the trigger with something. Just do it. Just see what could you lose? More viewers?
I mean, honestly, like at this point, well, what do you have to lose?
Go fucking nuts. Not like you have a Sting anymore. Just go nuts. Yeah. See what happens. Be the most unpredictable show on television.
Throwing some shit against the wall and see what sticks.
If it sucks, great. Maybe it'll be funny. If it's great, oh my God, holy shit. We got to watch Wednesdays now because who knows what the fuck these crazy people are going to do. But they don't do that. And if they did do that, we would probably watch more on Wednesdays. I'll give them credit where credit's due, though. They've put it on to where I can put it on randomly on like a Thursday or a Friday during work and just let it play on because HBO Max, and I can just let it go and just kind of get through it on streaming. That was my biggest somebody got Sonic. I could get like you're muted. You're muted.
There are so many tater tots in this bag.
Sonic is the best.
Oh, I always have diarrhea. So many tater tots in this bag. I must have got like what was left from everybody that they didn't want to eat.
There you go. Just leave him for Dad. He'll eat the tater tots. Damn right he will. But anyway, so like, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, they just need to like go fucking nuts. Although I like I said, I do appreciate, and I watch Dynamite more now that it's on. That I can stream it on Max like later, and that was a big criticism for me of AEW is that like I can't just go and dig it out and play it later. They even got a cheese stick. Look at that.
Yeah, it gave me a whole thing of them.
Fuck yeah, somebody loves you.
I mean, it's all horrendously cold, but like I don't care.
I mean, I feel like a cold cheese stick's maybe even better than a hot cheese stick. I like them a good medium warm.
Cherry limeade.
I mean, you can't beat cherry limeade. I mean, at least not at Sonic. Cherry limeade's so good.
I'm so excited about this dinner.
Yeah, good for you. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like with AEW, it's I'm glad that I can stream it later, and I think that fixes one of my big gripes with AEW. But like, Now they got to do something exciting to make me want to stream it. Just anything. Literally anything would be fine at this point. Let MJF poop on a guy. That'd be great. Can we do that on television? We could do it on HBO. HBO let him poop on a guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Max exclusive. HBO poops on a guy. Or girl. Whatever. Vince McMahon did it.
Hey, listen, whatever you do in the privacy of your own home, okay, is none of my business, right? Like, actually, real funny story. I had one of our listeners today. I was talking to him, and I had made a comment, and he said, "Hey, man, whatever you do inside the privacy of your own home is none of my business." I died laughing. Died laughing.
Usually I'm just talking about a big box store. Oh, never mind. There we go.
Oh, big box, huh? Well, I see. Uh-huh.
Even Ashley's got it.
So let's talk about something that didn't lack any storytelling, and that would be Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match.
Going into this, I was like, oh, this isn't going to be for me. And then I was like, okay, so let me give you my gripe of this match. And my gripe of this match is Michael Cole. Only because I feel like Michael Cole goes too hard on stuff like this to where it's like he's too anti-Kevin Owens on commentary. And he's too pro Sami Zayn, and he's too concerned for Sami Zayn's neck. It's too much. He needs to he's at like a 13. He needs to dial it back to like a 6. With that. So for me, Michael Cole was like a detriment to this match. Now that has nothing to take away from performers in the ring. I'm just saying that in a match like this, and particularly with like Kevin Owens as a heel, Michael Cole goes too hard in the, oh, Kevin, what are you doing? This is your best friend. You're a sick sadistic, kind of like with Triple H, like what JR did with Triple H. Triple H, you son of a bitch! Tell me why! Tell me why! It's too much. And I think that's what he's trying to do. But it was too much when JR did it, and it's much too much when Michael Cole does it. So like he needs to dial that shit back. Because he took away from that match instead of adding to it, which he's generally good at. He's generally good at adding to everything. That he was not. So I will, negativity where negativity is due. Michael Cole, take it back some. I feel like Pat McAfee was trying to pull him back, but like he just wasn't having it. So I don't know.
To that point, bro, how good is Wade Barrett?
Okay, he's grown on me. Wade has grown on me a lot. Wade did a better job. Wade also did a good job trying to pull Michael Cole back, and I feel like Michael Cole kind of took a back seat and just started calling the match toward the end, and let Pat and Wade kind of just do the color parts, because like Michael Cole got a little too into the color part of it. And I feel like they eventually pulled him back a little bit towards the end. And then the match itself I thought was great. I didn't know what to expect in an unsanctioned match. It was weird that they found a lot of tables that had a lot of shit already all on them during the match. Like there were a lot of empty Pepsi cans out there. I'm like, who the fuck is stacking Pepsi cans in the middle of the arena? Like, why? Who's like? Did Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn had to wander around and like stack up, like pull shit out of the garbage, like stack it up on tables. Like, this is going to be good. We're going to do this. Like, they had to have been doing that. Like, because there's no way that would have, like, if you go back and watch it or think about it, like, there's no way, like, there would have been just, like, long tables set up just with, like, Pepsi stacked on it, right? Like, that's ridiculous. But then when they went through them and, like, the shit flew everywhere, it was a cool scene, because obviously nobody got any color during the match, which was also a little bit weird because it was, it's unsanctioned.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I thought that was extremely weird too, especially when they busted out the barbed wire.
Yeah. Yeah. They brought the barbed wire chair out, and I'm like, oh, somebody's going to get color. But there was less blood in that match than there was in the women's chamber match. And I mean, that was not intentional. That was all their like arms and elbows and their backs and stuff. So yeah, them not getting color there, I thought was weird. But I would imagine that it was probably one of those things where it was like, because the main event was going to have blood, they didn't get to, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? So it was like, if it happens, it happens, but don't.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. I will tell you this. I thought KO's eye, after he took the drop toe hold onto the barbed wire steel chair, looked a little swelled up.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I mean, if they show up today, they're gonna look banged up, but they didn't get. I mean, nobody bladed is what I'm getting at, and that's that's the color you see, the crimson mask, because if you get, whether you get it hard way or you get it because you bladed, nobody got it hard way because they weren't trying to, and these guys are really fucking good at what they do. So especially with each other, like. I would imagine like they're probably both a little beat up. They've got some welts and stuff from the bigger spots, but those are spot related welts, not so much like, hey, I errantly threw a haymaker and busted your nose. Sorry. Like there's none of that. Everybody they took extra care of each other so that both of them could go home and like dress their, bruise, their flesh wound bruises. And they'll both be on SmackDown on Friday. I'm almost certain of it.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I enjoyed the match. I thought that the pacing of the match was really good.
Yeah, it wasn't too long, wasn't too short. That's what I was worried about. I was worried they were just gonna like let them wander around through the arena for an hour, but thankfully that didn't happen.
Yeah, so not mad at it at all.
No.
I thought it was a good little piece of business, and I was not really excited for it,
This again.
But they did some cool shit.
Yeah.
And they told a great story, and I thought they had a good showing.
Sure, for sure. And I thought that Randy Orton coming back. Great end. Great end to the Kevin Owens got the win, which I loved. And then Randy Orton came back, and I'm like, fuck yeah, Randy Orton's back. Randy looked like $1 million.
Yeah, he did.
We've been hearing that we're going to get Randy versus KO at WrestleMania. I'm here for it. I don't know. It's all falling into place, and I'm not mad at a single bit of it.
If I'm being honest with you, I was a little surprised that Sami Zayn didn't win that match.
So I was, until Randy Orton showed up, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is why. This makes sense. I like this.
Yeah, so really, really looking forward to a little bit of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Randy Orton went for the punt. Everybody's just strategically appeared after that to stop that, because that's the most devastating thing in the world. I don't know. Should be a lot of fun.
It's going to happen at WrestleMania. He's going to get punted.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I love how they save shit like that for like it's WrestleMania time.
Yeah. So, 10 out of 10 for me on that match.
Yeah, I didn't have a single problem with it. I was going. They did that thing where it was like going into it. I'm like, okay, I know what this is going to be, and then I watched it and I went, you know what?
It was actually pretty good.
Pleasantly fucking surprised.
Yeah,
especially with thank God they pulled the trigger with the return at the end with the Randy Orton return at the end of it. Love it. Love Randy Orton too, by the way.
But I feel bad though. It's twice now Randy's come back, and something has happened after that to overshadow his return. And we'll get into that. That everybody, I'm sure, is waiting with bated breath for us to talk.
We got to talk about the women first.
We absolutely have to talk about the women's match first. So the women's elimination chamber, which had Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Um, Roxanne Perez,
Bailey.
Bailey, and who am I missing?
Did we say Bianca? We said Bianca. So it was Liv Morgan.
Liv. Oh yeah, Liv Morgan.
Liv kicked it off. Liv's been the MVP of the women's division going on, in my opinion, like 3 months now.
I think it might be a little bit longer than that.
Well, so at first I feel like I was like, oh, Liv's doing some good stuff. Like, and then lately it's been like, Liv has been must-watch television. Like Liv is hitting, like, for me, like Tony Storm timeless levels of like, just she is the segment to watch. Like the Liv segments are the way. She started the match out, which was great. Okay, so we got to start with how the match started, right? So everybody gets their own entrance. The match is about to start. It's about to be Liv versus Naomi. Fucking Jade Cargill's music hits. The crowd goes, woo! Liv,
she looked great too, by the way.
She absolutely. She looks $10 million. Just incredible. The crowd.
If I could have like a half of every muscle she has, I'd be the sexiest 40-year-old man walking God's green earth.
That's absolutely true. So this all starts, and we got Liv and Naomi looking at each other, right? And I don't like Naomi. Like Naomi is not my.
Nah, she needs a change, man.
Well, she's not. Well, we got it. So Jade's music hits. Out comes Jade, and we're like, Liv is like, it wasn't me. I swear to God. Like Liv is like actually like fucking concerned. It's not me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Jade comes up, staring daggers at Liv, looks at her, immediately shifts to Naomi, beats the fuck out of her. First of all, this is one of the best beatdowns that I've seen in a long, long time. And then she threw her head where that like sliding cage door is and smashed it. I was like, oh my God. That was the first holy shit that you got in text. Was that moment in it, like, I lost my shit. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Also, shout out to Bianca, who's losing her shit in the pod. What are you doing? No. And I sent you, did you watch the video I sent you earlier today? Because I know you were like a little bit, I don't know, like with it, but they sent they have the video of Bianca in the pod losing her shit. What are you doing? What is going on? What the fuck? Oh my God. No. Like losing her shit. And like Jade is just brutalizing her. It was like that the best way to start that card off. Like I was that was like the moment I was locked into that event, and they kept me on that roller coaster the whole rest of the time, locked in from there. And then the rest of that match was unbelievable. Those women literally went out there like, we're going to tear this house down and try to like take over this show.
That was one of the better women's elimination chambers that I remember.
And the women usually bring it at the elimination chamber. Like to be completely honest, like the men's chamber is always feels a little scripted to me, because like you kind of can figure it out, but the women's is like kind of dangerous every time. Like my mind always goes back to that, like that chamber when Shayna just beat the shit out of everybody, and just was smashing everybody. Like the shout out to the Riot Squad at the time for just like being like her punching, and she just decimated all of them, especially Liv. Liv was great in that. That was honestly, if we're thinking about it, that's probably the start of the rise of Liv Morgan. But just tremendous stuff, like start to finish. Bianca pulling it out at the end, after watching Naomi get brutalized by her tag team partner.
Cares.
Huh?
Like I want Bianca to be the one that is responsible for all of this so bad, so that she cannot fall into the same funk that Naomi has fallen into, where it's just the same all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it, right? Like, you want to be this hero for all the little girls, and I get it. I do.
Bailey was in that funk for a long time too. And I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Just make it happen. Like, I want to have so much love for Bianca Belair because she's talented. And I've said this a million times. She's talented. She looks like $1,000,000. She's pretty well spoken. I just don't care because she's not on TV for me.
Yeah. She's on TV for my 9-year-old daughter loves Bianca.
Yes.
Loves her. Bianca, she's like, Evie, Bianca's on. Boop, 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 boop. Sits there, crisscross applesauce in the middle of the couch, watches that match. All right, Dad, I'm going up. That's it. Like that's the long and short of it. Like, I don't have to. She's not like, what else is going on? Nope. I'm here to watch Bianca. Oh, Bianca's done? All right, back to my room. Back to my iPad. My friends are waiting for me. I told them I had to go watch this wrestling match.
You know, and like,
and I love that, but also like, let's make it interesting.
Yes, because I think that is we're very much at a pivotal point in time with Bianca Belair where I need her to be responsible for this Jade Cargill attack. I need her to be responsible for this. And you and friend of the show Derek Wright seem to think that it's Bailey. I
agree with you that I want her to be. It would be better for Bianca to be responsible and to have Jade come out and screw Bianca out of the title at WrestleMania and then have them feud for like a year with Jade being the babyface of this feud. But I don't think that we're there yet. And I think that I think that it's going to be a Bailey and Naomi plot to make to insert Naomi into the women's tag team title picture, and I think that that's what it's going to come out because, like I said, I really feel like I saw somebody running away, and I think it was Bailey, and Bailey looked super sus. Well, it is Naomi, but it could also be Bailey. It could
Friend
be
of the show, Pat Martin.
There's a third man. Who's the third man? Woman. Who's the third woman? The third man is the reference to NWO with the Hulk Hogan and who's the third woman? It's an NWO third woman gig. There's going to be
maybe it was Jade. Maybe Jade threw herself off of that loading dock onto that windshield of that inappropriately parked car that I'm certain in IRL would get TOWED.
Yeah. It was an NAOMI.
Go.
That I hope that I hope it is because that shit's gonna stop. It has to stop. That's not for anybody. That has to stop.
No, God, dude, that's like, I mean, she debuted that gimmick in 2004. Is that right?
It was probably more like 2012, but it's that would make it still a like 13-year-old gimmick. It's too much. It's like she debuted that gimmick before CM Punk left.
CM Punk.
Let's say she debuted it during the summer of
CM Punk. I'm sorry. I had a stroke.
Please.
Do you smell toast?
No, I smell Perpetual IPA. It's very good.
I perpetuated several IPAs this weekend, and I will not. I repeat, will not partake in an IPA for a couple of days.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I worked out today and almost died. Not really, but like I felt like I wanted to. I was cursing at myself by the end. It was just a 20-minute Peloton run. By the end, I'm like, you're so fat. You sucks. Fucking, I can't do this. I'm gonna throw up. Like, it was bad. I thought Ashley was gonna laugh. She did not. She did not find it funny.
Well, no, she probably concerned that you were going to have a heart attack, and
she was concerned.
You know,
she was concerned.
I mean, you're old now, pal. Like,
fuck. I don't feel old.
I disagree. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like.
So you're saying that my cursing on the Peloton was a very much old man thing to do?
Yeah. Like I mean, I know that I feel like a sack of shit every single day. I
only feel bad when I move around a lot.
So you feel like a sack of shit every single day?
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Bianca Belair gets the win. And what was a great women's
tremendous from top to bottom. Everybody looked good. Everything looked clean. Everything looked like it hurt. There was a lot of people bleeding in that match. That like bleeding in ways that were like they didn't do that on purpose. Like they hit a chain in a weird way, and they cut here, and then they're cut here, and their hand, and here, and over here, and back here, and like some like necks, and like just like every which way. Everybody looked beat the fuck up. Yeah, loved it. Loved to kick off the show. It was like you couldn't have done it better. Perfect kickoff, Matt. It 100% could not have been done better. 10 out of 10. Loved every second. Locked in. Rest of the show. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I'm here for it. You know, I like. We got a little bit of story with the Jade Cargill thing. Hopefully they don't fumble that. Hopefully, you know, Jade
brought everybody back with it. Like, let's not fuck it up.
Yeah, and hopefully she has learned how to work a passable wrestling match. Because
that's what part of this time was.
Because if not, that she's gonna get exposed at WrestleMania. And it's not going to be a good look for a talent that they've invested a lot of money into.
Well, it'll end up being a talent that just doesn't go very far and doesn't have a very long run. And you know,
and I'm about to say something to you that I think that you're going to be a little surprised about.
Okay.
Samantha Irvin is missed.
Yep.
Officially, I feel the emptiness inside.
Yep.
And what did it for me was I can't remember what this other chick's name is. That
Alicia something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like I noticed it in the Elimination Chamber match. But it really stuck out in the Tiffy time match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end, it's just everything's so wordy and just like so just Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as to where Samantha Irvin, like, you know, she announced from a place of passion.
It came from her solar plexus.
You know, she announces the Elimination Chamber. You know, she's like talking about the rules, and then she's like, and the winner will go on to WrestleMania to face Rhea Ripley or Io Sky.
So can I stop you there? Because I have a problem with how they did that. Because I realized that's the main event tonight. And like I knew that going into it, but as soon as they mentioned that, I'm like, what the fuck? Like in my head, I'm like I wasn't thinking about it because I don't know if they had prepped like I don't know if they had prepped the viewers like before, but I don't think they did because I had turned it on and I was watching.
I mean, Triple H said it in the post match presser too.
Right, but well, what did he say?
He just said, Bianca's going to go on to face either Rhea or Io at WrestleMania.
Right.
And it's almost like creating this narrative that Io Sky is going to win tonight.
Right. Which I still don't expect, but the problem that I had with it was that like WWE tends to treat us like we're idiots. And this time they like
most of us are basement dwelling net mouth breathers.
Right, exactly. So and like I appreciate that because like I kind of shut everything off when I watch. Right, I'm just kind of like, tell me what's happening. And so then that happened, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck happened? Wait, who's Tiffany fighting? Charlotte, right? Wait, yeah. Tiffany's still the champ, right? Yeah. Why is he like so? Like I had to go through all these mental gymnastics whilst like words are still being said, and I'm like, so wait, there's a match, and we're gonna like have to like, and I get why they did it, but I feel like commentary should have done a better job of prepping us for this prior to the announcer saying it to the live arena. And I kind of was just like a little taken aback because like Ashley and I both were like, wait, why did she say it that way? What's going on with Io? Why is Io the champion? Why is it Io and Rhea? Did Io randomly somehow show up on Friday? I don't think Io, because like I watched SmackDown kind of late, but I like watched it live. I'm like, did Io win the title right off the bat of SmackDown yesterday? Am I like really confused? What's happening? Come to remember and realize, oh right, there's a match on Monday. It's the main event match. So like maybe that's what they're talking about. But also like it was just kind of confusing from even if let's say hypothetically you're just a Peacock viewer and you watch the pay-per-views and the pre-shows because it's like, well, we have the build up and we go, they have the little build-ups between. So like those watching at home, if you've missed a few shows, like what's happening, right?
Yes.
It's very self-contained. And this felt not self-contained. This felt like outside in a bubble. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? What are we talking about? Because like I'm in the
loud noises.
Bubble. Exactly. I'm in the self-contained bubble.
And I don't know what we're yelling about.
Yes. So I'm glad that it got explained eventually, but I thought that felt clunky.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's still like, hey man, fuck you. Like you didn't want to be loved. Like I just wanted to love you. Like I mean, I get it. You want to do something. You want to do something else.
Like I get it, but yeah, I get it too. But it's like, man, you were so much better than everybody else who ever did this. Just accept your gift. Accept that you're the GOAT.
Although she does have an album coming out, and I think I heard a song off of it on the old Twix machine.
It's R&B. It's not bad. It's just not particularly. It's not Usher. I
mean, nothing is Usher.
I mean, if it was Usher, maybe then it's worth leaving.
I mean, she could have made a fucking piss poor country album and won country album of the year.
Well, I mean, that's
this ain't Texas. You can't hold them. And I don't know what else to say.
So honestly, I feel like that's more of a like country is just that bad.
His truck is broken.
Is that a lyric? Because it sounds like it should be.
No.
You don't know that for a fact.
I don't, though. I don't.
It very much might be.
And the dog done run away.
I think that's a lyric.
It might be. It's every country song ever. You know what I mean? Like
the most generic country song. She had AI write that shit. Yeah. And she's like, all right, AI, write it and sing it to me. And then she sang it back and they like, all right, this is a hit. One country album of the year. There you go.
Oh, well, cherry fucking limeade for the W.
Hell yeah.
I asked for no ice.
Really? Why? They have the good ice there.
I don't like ice.
But they have the good ice.
But I want you to
Yeah, that's what the good ice sounds like.
Yeah, well, good ice is no ice.
That's fine, but that's what the good ice sounds like.
I don't know. Same as we talked about with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. I actually kind of feel like Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley has a little bit of freshness to it.
It's been a long time. Have we seen it on the main roster?
I don't believe that we have.
I know we saw it a lot in NXT, but I don't think we saw it on the main roster.
You know, and I mean,
that would make it a 4-year. It's been 4 years, and they've kept them away from each other.
And both of them have evolved as characters.
Yeah,
both of them have evolved as performers. It should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully,
I hope they beat the hell out of each other. I hope they beat the shit out of each other. I hope that it's a Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus beat down kind of match.
Just banger after banger.
Just fucking throwing haymakers, and I think that makes everything better. If it's that level of just like just fucking just go, like everybody hurts later.
Tiffy time.
Yeah, Charlotte and Tiffy will have the like very technical oversell woo kind of match. But I hope they just have the like beat like fucking laying their shit in kind of match that like neither of them have been afforded the opportunity to have since the last time they fought each other like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Well, moving on to the piece de resistance. The main event, the men's elimination chamber match, which saw CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins,
and John Cena.
Oh, I couldn't see him.
His name is John Cena.
What a great fucking match.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say I have to point out that I called this, that when Drew got eliminated, he was gonna get kind of rolled up and just be shocked and mad, and then probably Claymore somebody.
Yeah, all of that happened.
I was fucking dead on. That's exactly what happened. I love that CM Punk pinned Logan Paul.
Yep.
That felt redemption-y. Who pinned Seth Rollins?
CM Punk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot. Yes, he did with the go to sleep.
Yep.
And Rollins was so mad.
Yeah, he was so mad that he stomped CM Punk's WrestleMania dreams into a nightmare.
Into a fucking nightmare. Just stomped the shit out of that motherfucker. Just literally, like, that was one of the hardest stomps I've ever seen. Which gave John Cena the win.
Yeah, dude. Listen, the crowd was so hyped for Punk and Cena to like clear out the ring and have that time to themselves.
Yeah.
And like Rollins gave them a few fucking minutes.
But then Rollins like killed everybody's hopes and dreams, like murdered the hopes and dreams. He murdered the hopes and dreams is what happened. When that happened, my jaw hit the floor. I went, because I thought he was gone. My jaw hit the floor, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then John Cena like saw it, like he did that thing. He did that John Cena thing where he's like, "What do I do? Oh my god, I
don't know. Where did he go? Did he go?
Put him in the sleeper, but he was already done. Punk was out. He got stomped into a steel step thing. He just got boing. Like he was asleep. He was out. Putting the crossface. Ref called it like within 2 seconds. I thought you had to like do the one. When did they stop doing that?
They stopped doing that a while ago.
But I feel like that always felt better.
Some of
Hey,
them will do like the one, and if it drops, they call it. But I mean, the way that they did that, everybody in there, and and poor Charles Robinson got his ass beat.
sure did.
Fucking KO hit him with a stiff fucking clothesline. But I digress.
Charles Robinson, I hope, gets inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Just
Little
because
Nate got little Nate.
he's the best.
He always takes a fucking bump.
He's a man 60 years old, and he takes bumps like he's 25-year-old Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
All right, 35-year-old Shawn Michaels.
Except that time that the ring collapsed and he like shrugged his shoulders and then threw himself over the edge after.
Look, even the greatest of all time can make a mistake every now and then. I think he was way out of position and went, fuck, oh well. Vince ain't gonna fire me.
So obviously John Cena wins. He's on his way to WrestleMania to main event what would clearly have been night 2. The John Cena Nostalgia Tour is in full gear, and then wrestling has more than one royal family. Whoa! Right? The whole thing.
Something, Cody Rhodes. Whoa! Yeah, exactly. He comes out.
Yeah. So he comes out, and they shake hands, and they do the babyface on babyface, right? And then all of a sudden, if you smell what Travis Scott is cooking.
All right, stop. So why was he there? Has anybody come up with a good explanation as to why Travis Scott was there?
So I guess the word on the street is Travis Scott may or may not be partaking in a Bad Bunny situation come WrestleMania year.
If that doesn't happen, this makes no fucking sense. Because he showed up and just looked out of place the whole time. Like he was there, and everybody was like, "Fuck's Travis Scott doing?" This would have been a better segment if Travis Scott was not there, because everybody literally was still going, "But why is Travis Scott?"
Yeah, like I couldn't. I'd have rather seen The Rock bring the People's Championship belt to the ring.
Oh, wait till you see CM Punk's promo at the beginning of Raw tonight.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, took The Rock to task for that.
Can't wait.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be your favorite promo of all time.
I'm sure that it probably will be.
It's favorite of all time. No spoilers. Favorite of all time.
I mean, Punk is clearly an avid listener of the show, and just understands that
CM Punk is a Walt guy.
Yeah, as he should be.
Yeah, absolutely. He
should absolutely be a Walt guy.
I've watched him a long time. I've known you a long time. CM Punk should be a Walt guy.
That's it. I'm Walt fucking Ramsey, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He should be a Walt fucking Ramsey guy.
Somebody in this, in this viewing window would say, "Row, the little kitty cat, row." Okay, but we're just not gonna, fucking. So then The Rock and Travis Scott come to the ring, and we continue with this awkward. I'll touch on that in a second. Their friend of the show, Pat Martin. Whenever it presents itself to be a piece of business, but we have not quite gotten to that part yet.
To make of that. Anyway, go on.
So The Rock comes out. He's like, "Oh, Cody Rhodes. I want your soul."
It was a little sensual, wasn't it?
Oh, I want you to have it all. Let me give it all to you. I want you to taste.
There was tongue involved, right? There was some. Yeah. We had to smell, right?
And then Cody Rhodes goes on to say, "You're right, Rock. I do want it all. But unfortunately, my soul no longer belongs to me because I gave it to the WWE Universe in this ring a long time ago. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking tell him, Cody Rhodes.
And the
You
crowd
don't-
erupts.
You don't need his help. You're fucking you're the undisputed WWE fucking Universal fucking World Heavyweight undisputed King of Persia with the fucking gold belt champion.
He's definitely King of Persia. That crown is still in Persia
You don't need to fucking rock.
because he's the King of Persia. He's the
Okay.
not even the Prince of Persia. He's the King of Persia. Fucking love Prince of Persia. Great video game series. King of Persia, Cody Rhodes. Anyway,
So I'm sitting there, right? And he's like, I'm like, yeah, good for you, Cody Rhodes. You stick up for yourself. And then he goes, hey, Rock, you can go fuck yourself. And I went, oh, what he said.
he said the fuck word.
He said the fuck thing. What? Man,
They
it was,
didn't beep it or mute it or nothing.
no, WWE even posted it on their social channels later on,
Yeah.
unedited.
Seth fucking Rollins?
I mean, possibly
Rhea fucking Ripley?
P fucking G.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? But I was here for it. I lit up like a little kid. I was like, oh,
I love when people use bad words on TV. And I feel like that's a millennial thing. My kids would be like, all right, whatever. Like, but I'm like, whoo, because it's taboo to us still for whatever reason.
yeah. But I mean, that was the fuck word on WWE television.
Was the fuck word on WWE
from
television.
like the most upstanding citizen in all of upstanding citizens.
the
While the
blonde
other
hair-
most upstanding citizen of all upstanding citizens is standing in the ring. And John Cena fucking, he was like me. Oh, you did the thing. Right?
because John Cena's funny.
Oh, yeah.
And when Cody said that, I feel like John Cena's reaction was legitimate. It was because that's what my reaction was. It was
Yeah.
that like Aruga.
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck?
So, and then John Cena and Cody Rhodes, they have another little thing, a little blurb. The Rock's pissed, right? He's just, he's befuddled. Okay, he can't believe what has just occurred. And John Cena daps up Cody Rhodes, gives him the hug, and then we see and I went, oh, and then showed John Cena's face, and he was just
mean mugging it.
And I went, oh, they're gonna
No.
fucking do the thing.
I even went when that happened. I went no.
And so I was watching it Sunday afternoon, and my wife had just gotten home. They were out running around when this came on, and I was standing in the living room acting like a goober, and I'm like,
That's what I was doing. I did that too. So it took every ounce of my power not to text you and be like, "What the fuck just happened? Oh my god! Oh my god! John Cena turned heel! Oh my god! Like I was like, Walt's not watching.
Yeah, and then he takes a step back and he just fucking lays one in below the belt.
Kicked
And
him in
the
the
whole-
dick.
The
Right in
whole
the
place just fucking erupted.
It erupted and then it like threw up.
And then he picks up the belt and they pan out on the hard cam and he just does this with it. And that crowd fucking just came unglued. Everybody was so goddamn excited that John Cena has finally turned heel. We have been asking for this for how long?
20 years.
And it's here and it's on the farewell tour. And like this, he is not here for nostalgia. WWE is taking a chance here with John Cena. This is risky proposition.
This is
And I'm
dangerous. as fuck.
fucking
This
here
is
for
the
it.
most dangerous thing they've done since
There's
Turning
nothing
Stone
safe
Cold
about this.
this is the danger. This is more dangerous than turning Stone Cold heel. Like this is like unglued. Like Like this could explode in their faces and be like,
Yeah, but that Stone Cold heel turn fucking was just, it was like a fucking wet fart just leaking out of your bum hole whenever that happened at WrestleMania.
I feel like we've called that a wet fart before.
God, it was just like, bleh. Just like a wet, just floppy fucking donkey fart. Just, and everybody was like, okay, this was dumb. Why did we do this?
Oh boy, that fart's in the back of his knee. Yeah, no, it was this, but this is like, so that's why they don't do this shit, because that's dangerous. But they did it. Then they
Love it.
They did it with their more white, meatier babyface.
Yes.
Because like Stone Cold was like always kind of a tweener. Like he would have, but like John Cena is like,
John Cena's fucking say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and fucking.
Well, no, he's hustle, loyalty, respect.
Yeah,
like,
it's the same thing.
Hulk Hogan 2.0.
Yes.
But like he also walked the walk. So like, if you like John Cena the character, hustle, loyalty, respect, you like John Cena the person, not like you don't like Terry Bollea the person. If you're like,
oh, here you go.
I'm just I'm just calling a spade a spade. But like you like John Cena the person, and you're just like, so like it. And the internet's reaction to this has been phenomenal, flawless, impeccable, everything I hoped it would be. Even Stephen A. Smith is out there. John Cena, you're gonna pay for this. I fucking love it. I love it.
I love when mainstream media fucking gets like sucked into the pro wrestling ethos.
Deep down inside, most of them fucking love this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And they can't generally they can't say it out loud, but when something happens, they can immediately fanboy, and anybody who has the ability to immediately fanboy is gonna do it because they know that, hey, if I immediately fanboy to this, for one, it's gonna feel good on the inside. But number two, WWE is then maybe gonna call me to fanboy somewhere else and pay me money to sit like right here and watch like WrestleMania or something. So it's like, do I want the best tickets to like the coolest shit that I am secretly in love with? Yes, I do. And do I want to appear beforehand and then sit behind comment? It just it's too tempting. It's titillating. It's titillating. Because otherwise they'd be in a press box and like they don't see it. They don't really actually see what's going on in the ring, but it's like, ooh, I could sit ringside and it would be delicious because they'll be like, look who's here. And I'll be like, yeah.
So, which will now let me, is Travis Scott rating John Cena's new entrance song?
Probably. But if John Cena's not also rapping on that song, I'm calling bullshit, and I'm going to shit on it next time when it comes out.
You know what? Fuck it, dude. Just keep the Babyface song. Just listen to the crowd. John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks.
And does he come out and be like, don't hustle, be disingenuous, disrespect? Like, no hustle, no loyalty, disrespect. Is that the new John Cena towel?
What did
I'd buy that towel.
Derek sent something in their group message today, or was that you?
And it was Derek, but it was something like that.
Yeah, it's like break a wish in the back. It says be lazy, disloyalty, and disrespect.
Yeah.
Is it gonna? Yeah, there we go.
He's shaking a cancer-ridden child. He's telling him to give up. Oh, God.
God, that's fucking. It gets worse the more you watch it. In the back, in the back, it says Break a Wish Foundation.
Give up.
Oh God. Oh, and look, he's even got a little middle finger on his wristband.
Yep, sure does.
That's great.
Give up.
That's great. So, which leads us into our favorite part of the show where we get to speculate wildly. Stone Cold said today, I don't remember what show he was on, but he told Cody Rhodes, if you need help, I got your back for WrestleMania.
Oh, fuck. That would be... I would love to see Stone Cold stun The Rock.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see The Undertaker give him a chokeslam last year.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Like, also, I want to... But also, I want to see John Cena win.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Like, I really want... Okay, so not to, like, diverge into other, like, legends who have beef about this. Ric Flair is not happy.
He's not.
Rick
I was just getting ready to bring that up.
Rick is pissed. He does not want John Cena to, like, if anybody should break Rick's record, it should be John Cena, right? Like, I know he wants it to be Charlotte, and like Charlotte can break John's record.
Yeah, Charlotte's definitely gonna break John's record.
Like, yeah, with 18, but like, I mean, I feel like he gotta let John beat Rick's record.
Yeah,
like John Cena is the only person on that level with the longevity.
Randy Orton.
Randy's what, at 14?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna let him. Randy's because Randy's only like what, 2 years younger than John Cena. That's not. It's. I don't know. I love Randy. I really do. I just don't think they won't let him.
I've always wanted it to be Randy Orton to be the one to break the 16.
But I don't think they're going to let him.
No, I mean, it's definitely going to be John Cena, and it's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. And you know what? I think, honestly, like the WWE fans as a whole are here for this John Cena heel turn to win his 17th.
Because, and I mean, to be fair, like Rick's win is very like it holds up even less than like Bruno Sammartino's like length streak. You know what I mean? It's like because not only did it not happen in the WWE, it happened in the NWA that became the WCW, and then there's WWE tacked on top of it. Right, it's like there's 3 promotions worth here, so like that holds less water to the WWE fan. No. Look, it doesn't, but it does. Like Rick is the greatest like longevity champion of all time. Like there is nobody who can say, hey, you know, I wrestled from the 1970s well through the 2010s. And, you know, was pretty much a top guy for 50 years. Nobody's going to hit that 50-year mark that Rick did. But
I died in the ring. Woo!
He still wants to. I mean, he did once. He came back, but like he wants like that to be a permanent thing. It doesn't seem like it's going to be, but still, like there was too much exterior politics.
Could you imagine if Ric Flair would have actually died on pay-per-view for fucking 1999, and his son-in-law is the promoter that fucking promoted that, and he died on Conrad's watch?
I thought you were going with Andrade, but yeah, because Andrade's not his son-in-law anymore.
Well, but he was then.
He was, so, yeah.
Both son-in-laws be directly involved in his public death. Could you imagine?
When you put it like that, shit. No. When you put it like that, wow. I feel like that's what he wanted.
I mean,
he tried. He tried real hard.
He tried. I'm at the bottom of this cherry limeade, and I am so disappointed that it's gone. I might have to
Because
go
the
get.
good ice.
I might have to go get one tomorrow before I head to
Dude.
the new place of employment.
Oh, right. You go to the new place tomorrow.
I do. I do. I've been there like every day this week while I've been on vacation.
We just walk in, like, wave. And like.
Yeah, I mean, offer a little bit of support, a little bit of love, and, then I leave.
There you go.
There's just been happenings all week.
Order a nice soup.
No.
It's a good soup.
Yeah, but no.
Or a nice soup.
You have to go patronize my former establishment and see if they still let me know if they still have soup.
What are they gonna get rid of soup? All right. I'm gonna, because I've showed up for soup probably more than 5 times.
And I'm fairly certain that a couple of people would really enjoy to see you. So.
Oh yeah, I have to show and sit at the bar and bother everybody and sort of be a thorn, a little bit, but overly nice, that kind of thorn.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
What?
So.
Hi.
There's really no question that John Cena is going to win at WrestleMania, right?
I mean, I feel like at this point I'll be disappointed if he doesn't.
So, what's that look like? Does he hold the title hostage through the end of the year?
Man, would that be fun?
And then maybe, loses it at fucking,
Backlash
or something.
That would be Backlash. What happens at the end of the year? He could lose it at Survivor Series.
Yeah. And then apologizes because he was drunk with power and ambition and
But I did it.
Yeah, but I did it.
And then he has his this is the last you'll see of me in the ring, but this won't be the last thing you see of me or something. I'll see you soon, WWE Universe. I love you. Thank you for 25 years of being the most important man in the world, or whatever the fuck he ends up saying. Yeah, no, I think that's how it goes. I think that he loses. He holds it hostage. He doesn't actually wrestle. He just kind of shows up and points fingers sometimes, and is "You can't see me." I would be very excited if 4 of John Cena's appearances are just him showing up going, "You can't see me," and just fucking off. to whomever that may be, whoever's going to win the title from him, he'll show up and
Roman Reigns.
Probably, but
maybe he drops it to CM Punk.
Does he come back at WrestleMania next year to do that?
No, I think he probably drops it to Punk at the end of the year, and Punk takes it into WrestleMania as the champion, and finally gets his main event.
WrestleMania. Yeah, that makes sense. And then Punk has his own little farewell tour and fucks off at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I mean, Punk fucking signed a pretty lengthy deal, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did he?
I'm fairly certain.
We talking 3-4 years?
I think 5. Yeah,
5. I mean, nah, that makes sense because he's actually still pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, he signed an 8-year deal with AEW.
Let me out of my deal.
So, I know one thing's for certain. I'm really excited for this John Cena heel turn.
So much potential.
And
I hope he doesn't wrestle. I hope he just shows up and is a dick.
Do you think he's going to be on SmackDown on Friday?
This Friday, yeah.
I think because The Rock told everybody that he was going back to Africa to continue filming his movie.
I mean, I feel like this Friday you almost.
What
have
if they just leave this incredibly unanswered for like 3 weeks?
It's gonna be a hard sell. It's gonna be a real hard sell.
Because I mean, he even walked into the post match presser and just like did this. I'm, however, not going to drop my really expensive.
Yeah, don't drop your mic, like literally, because like you paid for that.
I
Please
did
don't.
pay for this. Did pay for this. I'm like, it's really nice. And like, it's kind of hefty. You know, there's some girth to it.
Look, what you do in your own home, it's none of mine.
Well, it's absolutely your business. It's all your business. It's the whole world, for the whole world to know. Old Girthroot over here.
Mine is a Girth Master.
Well, now we're talking about dicks. It's just, I don't know how
Hey, the main event's on.
Okay, shh. There's no televisions on in my vicinity. I need to switch. I need to change the color of my tree lights to green. We are now in March.
Uh-huh.
Need to do that. I need to find the remote.
That's the hard part.
I'm really bummed out that my cherry limeade is gone. I'm actually extremely sad.
You know what didn't bum me out this week? Wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling didn't bum me out this week either. It was pretty fucking good. And as a matter of fact, I'm so excited for what's gonna happen. So do we get Punk, Rollins, and Reigns in a triple threat?
I don't know. Do we?
Like, where does Roman fit into WrestleMania?
Watch Punk's.
I'm going to as soon as we're done. Like I'm gonna.
Watch, because now I'm thinking that like there might be a change to that. I'm just saying. Although, not to spoil anything, but like Rollins also showed up, and he and Punk fought for a long time. Like that kind.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to roll that beautiful bean footage as soon as we put the old X-Nay on the recording session A. So, I don't know, man. I think we can go ahead and wrap a bow on Elimination Chamber.
Great show.
Yeah.
Best Elimination Chamber in a while.
What would you, if you had to give it a letter grade, what would it be?
An A?
Yeah, I would.
Plus.
Solid A. Solid A.
Yeah.
For sure, solid.
They're like it was like a 96 out of 100.
Yeah.
Solid A.
Solid A. Really, really enjoyed the show. Really enjoyed that Triple H answered the internet trolls in the post match presser. Hey, do you feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania yet? I think that's great. And most importantly, hey, Rock, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, use the fuck word. Hell yeah.
He definitely used the fuck word. Well, Tom, we've only got one very, very important piece of business left before we go ahead and get out of here, and that is the world famous One Fall WrestleCast match of the week. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've started to lean in and introduce the segment because feedback was given to me. It's like, hey, I know what's happening, but somebody new might not know what's happening. So maybe you should address that before you just randomly roll this music or this video, depending on what medium you are consuming said content from.
I feel like that was my criticism of the which either face Io Shirai or Rhea Ripley and that was, I feel like that's so. Yeah, I'm good leaning at that.
Io Shirai, huh? Man, you
Io
just fucking
Shirai.
took it. You took it all the way back.
All the way back. Io Sky, obviously for those listening at home, Io Sky, but Io Shirai, which is her generally accepted wrestling name, but still, whatever. Yeah.
So
I love that Netflix like lets me see things in 4K even though I don't pay for it.
well, I mean that's
On Raw. I mean everything else, whatever. But like it's just little clips.
so. What's your match of the week there, pal?
The women's room. They're the women's chamber. Absolutely. Start to finish, I thought that it was the better match. It still had a piece of like kayfabe business going on with it, but like more aggressive and more gripping from the front. I understand what the men's chamber was, the gripping, the final, oh my God, what happens next kind of thing. But like they pulled us in from the front. And I thought that the match itself from bell to bell was better. That may be due to, there only being 5 women involved. So everybody got a little more time to breathe. But at the same time, like that was my match of the week. So women's chamber, hands down, it was great.
I mean, I thought both chamber matches were great. Really enjoyed the men's match. Really enjoyed the women's match. But for my buck, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn really scratched an itch that I did not expect to be scratched.
They surprised us, and I feel like that's a good assessment.
I really, really enjoyed the level of storytelling that went into that. And while I agree, that Cringy Cole might have gone a little too overboard on the way that he sold some things. It just kind of is what it is.
I don't feel like it takes away from the match either. I feel like it's a valid criticism, but like it's not fair to like put that on the wrestlers, right? Because they didn't say those things.
Yeah. So, but that was my match of the week. Great storytelling, some great fun spots, some good visuals, some good in-ring action. Had some time. They got to tell their story. Kevin Owens is the winner. Randy Orton makes his return, which clearly is going to set up some sort of Iron Man match, last man standing something probably at WrestleMania that Randy Orton's going to win with a punt kick. And yeah. So overall, pretty good week in wrestling. No complaints.
I had a blast.
The only complaint that I have is that I did not get to partake in the Elimination Chamber with you. And that is wholeheartedly my apologies.
Yeah, you got to have fun anyway. It's fine.
My wife, booked me into a corner after I had booked myself. And happy wife, happy life. And yeah.
And they're gonna hurt my feelings. Because I'll be like, hey, you coming over this week? Or like, you invite me over and I'll come and show up. I'll be like, all right, bye everybody. See you guys later.
I hurt my own feelings, so there's that. So
I have to pee.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and then we can call it a day. Hey, if you're still hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. If you could go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, maybe even consider subscribing, we would greatly appreciate it. You can check us out wherever you consume your favorite podcast, as well as here on the tube of you. Check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_WC. That's ONE. And as always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. Ba-ba-da-ba.